Hey everybody, it's Dre here, March 17th. Wanted to follow up with you guys as to what my experience has been like after being tested positive for COVID-19, the coronavirus. 12 days into my quarantine. Today I woke up, it was the first day that I didn't cough up any mucus, any blood. I haven't had any headaches. I wanted to show you guys I don't have a fever or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my temperature on video for you guys here. .7. It's probably backwards, but I'm sure you get the idea. So I'm doing really well. I'm very grateful to be doing so well. In addition to this, I wanted to share a very interesting story with you guys. I have a little brother. His name is Paul Marghitas. He is actually the individual who has been the closest person to me throughout this whole process, aside from my fiance Shay. Paul actually was head of security for the event that I was at, where I believe I caught coronavirus. Paul was working the door and in charge of security there. He shook hands with 50% of the audience that was at the birthday gathering that I was at when I believed to have gotten the virus. In addition to that, he came within maybe 2 or 3 feet of the individual that I shook hands with. In addition to that, he came to my house 2 days after the gathering. So that happened on February 29th. On March 2nd, I'll have my amazing videographer Xiris put that up right here somewhere on the screen. He's really good at this stuff, so he'll put it where it needs to go. But you guys can see that I invited my brother over for dinner 2 days after I came in contact with the confirmed coronavirus carrier. And I made dinner for him and my fiance. We ate together. We spent a bunch of time together. We watched some UFC fights. And then he ended up going home. So with that being said, I just wanted to make sure that I touch base with you guys and let you know that he has since been tested. It's really interesting what the test results are, because Paul ended up coming over to my house throughout the process of me being quarantined before I was able to actually get tested or got a positive test result back. Paul would come over to take out my trash for me. He would bring me medication. He would bring me food. So he's been over here quite a few times. Yes, I've worn a mask and had gloves on every time that he's been over here. And before I got tested, I would open the door for him and let him come into the house. I was just quarantined to the home because I didn't have a positive or a negative on my test quite yet. But he tested negative. In addition to that, the only other person that has visited me has been my mom. And my mom came and dropped off some groceries one time in the garage. Very minimal interaction, but she did also test negative as well, which is amazing. My fiance Shay and my son Luca, they're still healthy. They haven't been tested yet, but they're doing amazing. It shows 0 symptoms, so I don't think there's a reason to be tested. And like I said, I feel like I'm 100% now, so very grateful for that. Just wanted to make sure I keep you guys updated. There was an interesting video that I recently saw showing the effects of the coronavirus from the future. It's pretty much Italy and people in Italy speaking on the situation. Obviously, they've gone through a lot more than we have, and they have a lot more information. So I will be posting the link in the description below. That way you guys can watch that video and really get some firsthand perspective of people practically living in the future when it comes to this virus from us. And then I'll let you guys listen to the same story that I pretty much told you, but just from my brother's perspective. He is an individual that just tested negative, that I had the most contact with. So I'll have him explain a little bit to you guys here shortly.
So the night that my brother believes he got the coronavirus, I was actually working security at this private event. And although I didn't shake hands with the individual that my brother believes he got the coronavirus from, I did shake half of the people's hands there. There were about 200 people maybe. And I also continued to shake my brother's hand throughout the whole night. He would come and check on me, see how I'm doing. And about 3 days later, he invited me over for dinner. He made dinner for me and Shay, and everything seemed fine. He didn't have any symptoms. Everything was good. It wasn't until a few days after that, or maybe a day after that, he started feeling sick. But it wasn't bad. He didn't say it was bad. And then when this individual came out and said that he got the coronavirus, then my brother immediately assumed that he had it. He quickly quarantined himself in a room, and I would be the person to go. I would bring him water because he didn't want to go out and risk spreading it around. So I would go and I would grab him water, I would grab him breakfast, I would grab him coffee, I would take the trash out for him. And when I would show up to his house, I didn't wear any face mask, I didn't wear any gloves because I didn't think that my brother could get the coronavirus. It wasn't something that was realistic at the time. I thought it was just a cold and sickness, but thankfully he wore gloves, thankfully he wore a mask whenever I would show up. And yeah, I just got tested on Saturday morning around 11 o'clock. I didn't get a phone call yesterday. I was supposed to get a phone call 48 hours after. I didn't. I had just called this morning, and they just confirmed I came back negative, thankfully.